to Omega.
So y'all hit me on Twitter. See what happens. Y'all hit me up on Twitter. I'll shout you out.
Yeah, man, hit us up.
But yeah, so we're gonna go right back into this beautiful conversation we're having with some of the most intelligent MCs I've ever met, poets. So we're talking about hip hop and guns. So I got another question, and I got my man Kane. He's gonna start this session off. What I want to know is our country obsessed with guns? And what can we do to fight gun violence? Because we know there's been a lot of stuff going on in the schools and in the theaters and in the malls. So, Kane, I think you got a solution, a plan.
Let me listen. Is it true that they're trying to pass a law right now where you can actually have a gun in the parking lot of any business?
Yes.
Is that what I'm hearing?
Wow.
Like it's legal now to have a gun in your trunk as a soccer mom. Just because if something pop off as a soccer mom, I need to be ready.
Unless the facility doesn't allow it. Unless it's
a
government business.
Wow.
That says no.
That's what I heard.
I'm getting enlightened tonight. This is for my
So if I'm a soccer mom and it's popping off, I'm going to my minivan and it's popping off. I'm just saying that's dangerous.
Soccer moms popping a trunk. I don't know.
Everybody with a gun is not good.
So Kobe, come on, talk to me.
I don't think. Well, I do think that that's kind of like a yes and no. More than being a gun enthusiast, I think it's more not having someone tell you can't do something.
So you don't think it's about the gun?
It is, because you do have a lot of people that love their guns, obviously.
But let's just look at like the media, rap videos,
they're creating
movies.
But yeah,
it seems
they're
like
making it okay.
You can find a gun almost anywhere.
Yeah, you can.
And
my problem is that if you're not supposed to have a gun, you can still get it the same way I can get it, legally.
Right.
And so something has to be done about that.
Okay.
You can go into a gun show and just say, "Hey, my name's Duke. Give me a gun."
Wow.
And get a gun. You could be drug cartel. You can be terrorist watch list. No papers needed.
Mentally ill.
You could be whatever you need to be. So
just broke up with your girl.
Yeah.
That's the person that shouldn't have a gun.
I think, and plus, I think a lot of people with guns just got them because they think it's cool, So that's the no part. I don't think they love guns. If it was a little bit more difficult for people to get guns, they wouldn't have them. Just a little bit. Kind of like, how Congress, they changed the voting.
Uh-oh.
That's my right to vote, right?
I got myself a...
Only those can do that.
Yeah.
Nah, we got a
Good
right
looking
to
out,
vote.
nice.
And they changed the laws to make it a little more difficult by requiring more than they had for the rest of history before this year.
Wow.
Okay.
And requiring ID. Now, I have a 94-year-old grandmother that affected. So it's not a big deal for us in the new generation, but that affected my grandmother and her peers.
Wow.
So she got it, though. She got it and she voted, but a lot of her friends did not. So that was a law that changed something in the amendment. That's our right to vote.
So you being Kane, what's your stance right now on guns, just in general?
I think that guns, everybody don't need one. Everybody don't. I know people right now, like I'm in a position where I know physically, I know people right now with guns
that
it's like
not have one.
Nah, and they law abiding. They just stupid.
Give them a taser.
Nah, it's like, nah, for real. It's like, now I feel like I got to get one to protect myself against them.
Because you're stupid.
Because they're not responsible people.
Wow. So what's the answer, Kane, to the school shootings? You can't stop everything.
Yeah, you can't stop everything.
So what's your solution?
I think that legally, to get a gun, I think you should complete a safety course.
Okay.
And get a safety license or certificate or whatever. That does expire every 3 to 4 years.
You're doing hours to get this gun. Like, you're doing some hours. Like, you go on a Saturday.
Yes. You go to a class.
Yes.
You go to a class.
How bad you want that gun?
You learn about gun safety as far as storage, usage, handling.
Yes, yeah.
History on the gun. The whole nine. And you can even take a little class to see how many points you get.
Do teachers need guns in class?
No, man. It'd be a lot of... Not in my school. None of mine. Because the kids will get the gun.
Yeah.
Wow.
She left it in her snack drawer.
Be a lot of dead teachers. So, but my thing is, if it's a little bit more difficult to get it legally, because bad guys shouldn't get them legally.
Okay.
You know, so what they have to do in order to purchase a gun, they have to present this gun safety course that does have an expiration date on it. And if it's expired, you cannot purchase another new gun.
So they have to do refresher courses too?
You might have gone crazy last year.
That's very good.
Tell them, man.
But
tell
it's a
them.
check. You check.
Yeah.
You check in. Laws might change. Things might be different anyway. You need. If I got to do that every year or every so often for the truck drivers.
Right.
You know, police officers have courses that they have to take every year to know how to use a gun, and they're professional gun users. They use them every day. Why can't the civilians who don't
Makes sense. Makes sense to me. Kobe Kane for president.
Yeah.
Let me get my man Addie Kane back. Addie Kane, I'm gonna come at you with the same questions. We're gonna keep it rolling. Addie Kane, are we a culture that's obsessed with guns?
Kind of like what Kobe was saying. I think it's a yes or no in the fact that I think entertainment wise.
Yes.
Video games, movies,
right.
TV, entertainment.
Call of Duty.
We enjoy
Terminator.
a lot of violence that we know that in real life we would not do.
Okay.
And for the most
part, do you think
that
affects us though?
That affects us. It affects our psyche as far as I think we're numb to.
Nice,
we're
you
numb
wild.
We're numb to the noose.
Right.
We're numb to the news of violence.
Right.
You know, if we hear it on TV, we're numb to it because we see it. It's in our entertainment also.
Right.
But anybody I've seen who's actually seen someone die, actually been close up to it, or even has a gun in their car right now.
Okay.
You know, they're not necessarily just all in love with that idea.
Okay.
You know, especially if you have a lifestyle where it's like, I need this for protection.
Well, especially in hip hop, like the biggest, the biggest sellers. Man, what are they talking about?
They're talking about stuff they don't do. They're talking about them guns they don't use.
Right.
And I've been rapping for a minute. I've seen that.
Okay.
You know, you talking smack about a cat who do that, and that guy comes see you later. And
hello.
That's what it is. But getting on this as far as the idea of
thank you, Z.
Someone mentioned earlier about school shootings.
Yeah.
Well, I cannot quote the exact website, but the information is online. You can Google the stats. Some of the guns that have been regulated, that have been used during most public shootings, have nothing to do with the guns they're trying to ban. So a clip that used a magazine clip that used to have 16 shots, they broke it down to 10, right?
Okay.
Okay. If someone's motivated to do that, they did it anyway with the 10 mag.
Okay.
Most killings are not done with weapons. If somebody's at a point where they want to kill somebody, they will grab whatever's available.
So what can we do to stop the violence?
To stop the violence, the best
or
thing,
simmer it down.
I mean, honestly, the
not
best.
simmer.
No, I'm saying
you're doing chili now.
Lower the violence.
All right, lowering the violence. Honestly, we got to be honest about the violence, especially talking about guns. Right? Let's be honest about the violence. What is it? To some people, it brings them power. To some people, it brings them protection. To some people, it brings them security.
Yes.
Right? When you talk about the ignorance in deaths, the ignorant deaths,
right.
the stupid deaths, whatever, quote unquote, for lack of better words. The best answer I ever heard was from a teacher who's currently teaching in the Middle East, where they have a lot of shootings, they have bombings in schools.
Okay.
Right? And his best answer to Time Magazine was, you want to see a change in the Middle East, you want to see change in this war zone, then start paying attention to our education. That was his best answer to it. In the middle of the war, he was like, educate us.
I heard an NRA advocate say this: the only way to stop a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun.
Education, man.
Okay.
Because
guns are bad.
Because honestly, we're still talking about power, right? And I tell students this all the time. We have a man called the president, right? And yes, he runs he has authority over an army, right? Over a multitude of military powers, right?
Okay.
But he also has a pen. And a quote that was said a long time ago about the pen being mightier than the sword, knowledge being mightier than the sword.
Okay.
Right? Is that man can also write on a document, hey, no shooting in this area. Hey, no more violence in this area. With just a sign stroke of his signature. Knowledge.
Wow. Yo, we're gonna keep it locked, y'all. Hip hop and guns. We got one more segment we're gonna come back with. We're gonna talk to my man Wise Philosopher when we come back. And We're going to keep talking, man. We're going to keep speaking. We're going to keep learning. I'm
and
learning a
guns,
lot.
man.
The Duke is learning this week.
Hey,
Yes.
man, I'm saying, hit us up 974-2535. Let us know what you think.